What's going on? What's going on?
Y'all doing? Welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode
of
of
Guys Talk Sports.
episode 39,
40,
bro.
40. Technically, the draft episode was 39.
Okay, technically
the draft
Okay,
episode was
we
39.
will do that.
Yeah,
we
yeah,
call
yeah,
it
yeah.
40.
Those count. Like the last one was the fantasy draft.
Yeah.
That's his own episode. It counts. So 40, episode 40. Welcome back, everybody. This is May 3rd at it's 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's May 3rd on a Wednesday. Welcome back, everybody. And what's up, bro? How you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm blessed, man. It's been
Nice.
It's been an eventful week, you know.
No, it's always eventful around here. Around
You know,
here,
I'm,
in my life, in your life, in
we
the
out
world of
here.
sports.
I've been. I guess this is off sports, but kind of still on sports. But I just been on a journey to get like
Journey,
my
ain't no wrong with
mind,
that.
My mind, body,
Hey,
financial,
man,
all of it.
leveling
right.
up,
You know, we up here reading books,
progressing,
you know,
upward
and,
and onward.
and working on our discipline. So,
Oh, that's the discipline keyword.
Yeah.
Discipline.
so that's what I'm on right now.
Hey, man, that's what's up, man.
How about you?
I do what I can now. Working, we working, getting our lives right. Adulting, a lot of adulting.
Yeah, it's been
A lot of adulting, man. You know what I mean? You know, a big homie told me one time.
What?
You know, I got my collar shirt on, and this and that. And he said, like, people gonna treat you,
How you
good.
look.
If you gotta get business done, get your business together, get your life together.
Nah, people gonna treat you how you look. That's
There you go.
it.
Would you listen to you? Would you work with you? Would you? You know what I'm saying?
You know
this
what
and
else?
that.
You know what he told me one time though, and it is true.
Shout out to Double R CEO,
Yeah,
Never Satisfied
shout
Studios.
out to him.
Shout out to Double R.
You know, you can have a homeless man that had a cure for cancer.
Damn.
And you can have a businessman who's ready to sell all of the poison on earth. And people are going to listen to the man in the suit before they listen to the homeless man. So,
It's gracious.
appearance, yes. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you out here taking care of yourself. And
You know what they said? Lil Wayne. Shout out to Lil Wayne, right? We get
Weezy.
more on Lil Wayne later.
yeah.
Lil Wayne said he ain't fast food in 20 years. I ate fast food like within a week ago.
Wait,
Lil
he
Wayne-
ain't eat fast food in 20 years?
That's what he said. Because he got to cook. He always had that money.
Okay.
He always had that money.
okay,
He said been ever since he
could afford it.
to keep it 1,000, yeah, for sure. So, but since he was a millionaire. What do you say? What they say? 15, 16,
Yeah.
17.
Nah, he been hot for a long time.
Hot boy, for a long time, right?
Wayne been hot for a long time.
Long time since me and Matt, since I first heard Cash Money and all that when I was that's how old I
Elementary
am.
school.
Junior high, yeah, exactly.
For me, it was elementary school.
Junior, come on, bro, come on.
I remember this girl sitting
That
across from me in
instead-
class, and she had a picture of Lil Wayne on her
Come on.
notebook, and I was like, "You listen to Lil Wayne?" Yeah.
If you didn't have a Cash Money CD or two,
Yeah.
if you didn't know the lyrics, oh, come on, bro.
Bling bling.
All that
Every time I
before
come around, you'll
before
see it,
everybody
bling,
had
bling.
the internet, before we could Google the lyrics, before we used to print out lyrics.
Yeah.
Not everybody had the internet. Not everybody had a computer.
Nobody had the internet.
Nobody had
Nowadays.
the internet. Not everybody had phones. To really like memorize the song, you really had to listen to the song.
Yeah.
like with your CD player.
Yeah.
Or when you heard it on the radio. And we would record songs on our stereos and get the tapes from the dollar store. Get some blank tapes.
Yeah, man.
Then we was burning CDs. Shout out to Time Travel 2005.
Shout out to them. I'm about to change.
All right, so yeah, we are. That thing just fell right here. Do you see that? Third, of course, current events. Or are we going straight into sports? What are we talking about? Any current events? Anything? God bless everyone. Hope
What
everybody
current
good.
events is going
Current
on right
events,
now?
What is going on in the world today? Past week, are we skipping anything important? Or are we good to go?
I mean,
Like to touch on a few subjects, and I don't know. I'm kind of just.
I don't know.
I think it's all's one in the land. Well, that's good. Sometimes no news is good news, right?
Yeah.
There you go. No news is good.
Yeah.
No news is good.
I was about to say, because in my world, I feel like it's always something. You know what I'm saying? It's always something. Like,
Always something. There's always something. It's not what.
and
happens
really, it
to
is
you.
always something. But
I think it's not what happens to you. It's what you do about it.
yeah, that's
How you
true.
respond to it. We all got something. we don't get too deep, too personal, but we all got some. But keep going, upward and onward. We got your back. We support you.
But shoot, we
Call on the
can
normal guys talk sports. We'll figure it out.
we could get into some sports, man.
We'll get into some sports. Okay. Before we get to traditional, let's basketball, football, of course. Shout out to the Stars. They're still
Yeah. They
NHL
played last
playoffs.
night, and they play Friday.
So shout out to, if I don't shout out to the hockey enough, my bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, make sure you buy a ticket and go to American Airlines Center and see them.
I don't know when they're playing, but
Tomorrow.
they're
They played last night.
They're playing tomorrow, so
And they play
I haven't
tomorrow.
been up on it. I got a coworker. He's Dallas native. He loves it.
Yeah.
He knows more about sports than me. You know, shout out to
Yeah.
Big Ant.
No,
You know,
they-
Big
they-
Ant, you know, and then he's up on the he's up on the for sure. He's from Dallas, and then they have Jersey Day. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
he came in there with
So-
the hockey jersey on.
No, he already had it in the whip. And he was like, "What is jersey?" Because somebody else had a shirt, and he said, "What?" He went to the whip, came back,
Came in with the jersey.
came with the jersey. Shout out Big Ant.
Shout out to Big
No,
Ant.
but NFL playoffs, of course. I have my 49, of course, bro, of course. You know what I mean?
So they let y'all do like a jersey day.
They'll have like a little thing on. Hey, we about to have they have like a little thing on the door in the email. Hey, we about to have the Jersey Day. Oh, the playoffs. They're real festive. You know, a lot of good times, and they feed us a lot.
You go in that break room, they be having.
No, they feed us enough. I feel they fit like, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes the food trucks come, they give us tickets. Food truck,
these jobs be
they hook us up.
feeding
They
you.
hook-
That's how they gotta keep your ass
I
happy
have-
though.
I put on some pounds, but you know, I do be eating.
Yeah, shit. You go back there.
I do.
You go back there. They got honey buns and freaking
So no, yeah.
chicken tenders.
All that, but no, shout out to the Stars, shout out to all DFW. You know what I'm saying? We out here, we wish there was some, playoff. You know, that'd been nice. You know, playoff atmosphere in Dallas. Last year it was Dallas and Utah,
Oh yeah.
and then me and shout out to Big Keaton. Me and Keaton went to the game.
Shout
Big
out to
homie,
Keaton.
Big homie had some tickets. You know, Big homie was with a lot of big names, and then and he had a couple in Keaton, and it was
That's
the
what's
playoffs
up.
last year. So it was Utah at Dallas last year, so that would have been exciting. But no, speaking of basketball, we'll get to that. Is the playoffs this year, of course, and here we go, man.
It was a rough week for you, huh?
Here we go, man. So
We gonna get into this.
So we'll get all the above. We can talk about rebuilding the team, 2K, rebuilding the team, what we need to do.
Man, y'all
the
don't need
off season is now.
Y'all do not need to rebuild though.
Not rebuild, get better. No, add on, expansion pack.
Expansion.
Keep
pack.
everything there and throw some
So
more on.
we
it. Yeah.
starting from
So Wednesday,
game
April
fours?
26th.
was the game for us?
Yeah, some closeouts. Yeah, so last show was Wednesday, April 26th. This is Wednesday, May 3rd. So last week on April 26th on Wednesday, we have 4 games. And then this was the first game is game 5 between the Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. The New York Knicks close out the series 4-1 with the Knicks with the score 106-95. Jalen Brunson, 23 points. Donovan Mitchell with 28 points. Next game, we have the LA Lakers visiting the Memphis Grizzlies. Game 5, Memphis won that game, 116 to the Lakers 99. And the Lakers still were leading 3-2. Next game, we have the Miami Heat at the Milwaukee Bucks. That one, this was a game 5. This went into I saw this game. This went into overtime, and the Miami Heat close out the series 128 to Milwaukee's 126.
Jimmy Butler, man, talk about putting a team on your back, bro.
So shout out to the Miami Heat real quick. Let's just recap on their season thus far. They, you know, a lot of figures they were the end of the road of their current core, their current foundational pieces right there. They were in 7th seed, lost in the playing tournament, got to 8th, became the 8th seed. So they're this extra games they're playing here, and then they faced the 1st seed Milwaukee Bucks. A lot of favored to win the championship, at the very least go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Everyone had the Bucks and the
Bounced them
Celtics
in the first round.
for the most part.
Damn near sweep.
Majority predictions, probably me and Matt. Everybody had
The Bucks winning.
would have the Bucks and
Winning.
the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals. The Bucks win this series. So shout out to Miami Heat, proving all the doubters wrong. One of the biggest upsets NBA history. This is an 8-1.
Jimmy Butler.
Yeah, so Jimmy Butler, he, especially in the closeout. I mean, he had 42 in the closeout game. The game before, he had like 50 something. And yeah, so shout out to the Miami Heat moving forward and being the Milwaukee Bucks. So the Milwaukee Bucks have a lot of decisions to make. Their offseason starts now, and the Miami Heat is onward to the second round. More on them later. The next game, we have Game 5 between the Golden State Warriors at the Sacramento Kings. This game was in Sacramento. The Sacramento Kings had home court
What
advantage.
happened?
And this game was this. Okay, so this Game 5. So Golden State 123 to Sacramento Kings 116. We can pull up the box score if we have to. So this was in Sacramento. Steph Curry is he's one of the better players ever, right? That's what everyone says, right?
This is true.
Yeah, I remember this. Draymond Green had 21 points off the bench, and
That's what killed y'all.
And Looney he had like 3 games in the series with 20 rebounds in the game, so he was out rebounding
22 rebounds.
the rebounding champ in Sabonis.
22 rebounds is absolutely
22
crazy.
rebounds. Well, I mean, Sabonis went 21, 10, and 4, but backup center is one of the issues. The backup center has been a question mark and a game of musical chairs with Sacramento with the past calendar year. Like legit. So more on the roster later, but that is what lost this game. And again, it was so
Man, Steph Curry, man.
right. So
You was talking about he lost it, but they still got it, man. They still together.
moving on. So next game we have here we go. Next game we have it was a Game 6 with Boston and Atlanta. This was Thursday, April 27th. Boston closes out the series 128 to Atlanta's 120. Like I said, Atlanta made it fun, competitive. They were also in the play-in tournament, and who did they play again? They played somebody I don't even remember right now.
Well, in Chicago, it was.
Was it Chicago?
Thunder.
No, in the East. In the East.
In the East. I'm tripping.
Was it the Bulls? Yeah, they played. I think they played the Bulls. Yeah, they did.
Was
the
the
Bulls?
Heat
No,
played the Bulls.
he did play the Bulls. No, but Atlanta played. No, that's what happened. Atlanta played Miami.
Yeah.
That's right. Atlanta played Miami. Atlanta got the 7th seed, got the Celtics. So Atlanta was coming in hot because they went from 8th to 7th because of the play-in tournament. So, this is a different story if Atlanta plays the Milwaukee Bucks and the Boston Celtics play the Miami Heat. We're having in a whole nother universe. We're having a whole nother conversation. But because of the play-in tournament, a different scenario happened because of the play-in tournament versus if you would have kept it the way it was before. That's my point. So interesting to see, nonetheless. So shout out to the Boston Celtics moving forward in that series. They're on to the next round. Friday, April 28th, we had my blood pressure was at an all-time high this day for sure. We had the Sacramento Kings visiting the Golden State Warriors. Sacramento Kings with the W, 118 to the Warriors 99. This was Game 6, so the Sacramento Kings tied the series. Malik Monk with 28 points, Stephen Curry with 29 points. The Kings, started faster. We're we got to tie offense here. So we could kind of touch on this box score real quick. Yeah, and on top of it, I don't remember what game, but De'Aaron Fox is playing like with his injured finger on his shooting hand.
26 points, 37 minutes.
So yeah, but 11 assists.
Keegan Murray, 45 minutes, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 15 points.
Keegan Murray, yeah, that's that is our rookie. That is the 4th pick in the draft this year, and he broke threes for a rookie. Donovan Mitchell had it, top 10 list. Damian Lillard's on there. Steph is on there. Keegan beat everybody as far as 3-pointers made as a rookie. He's a diamond that we drafted. We finally lucked out in the draft because our our success rate in the draft is legit like 20-30% as far as like players like really working out and contributing to a playoff team. All these other rookies were on bad teams. Keegan Murray was a rookie that played meaningful minutes on a playoff team and then the third seed in the Western Conference. So shout out to Keegan Murray for many years to come. He's one of the core players moving forward. He's locked in. He's locked in.
He's locked in.
We're not giving him up for too many players. So because if teams want to trade with the Kings, that's the first player they're asking for. It's Keegan Murray. So, yeah, shout out to the Kings on even up that series and send it to a Game 7. More on that later. The next day we have Monday, May 1st. We had two games. We had the game. We had game one with Philly and Boston. Philly with the win, 119 to Boston's 115. Joel Embiid named NBA MVP of the NBA, and James Harden
Expected.
Which well deserved, and so without Embiid, he had to sit out. Because they closed out the Nets without Embiid in Game 4, and Embiid is missing Game 1. James Harden showing he still has it with 45 points, and Jason Tatum with 39 points. Shout out to James Harden with the breakout game and winning in Boston without Embiid. So he's showing he's
that man still got
it. He's had a lot of playoff shortcomings. So this is put this on the positive note on his resume for sure. The next game we have so where's that? Oh, my bad. I think I jumped the gun a little bit. And then so next game we have here we have the Lakers closing out their series. Memphis in Los Angeles. The Lakers 125 to Memphis is 85.
Get them boys up out of there.
Lakers win the series 42.
We got to talk a little bit about this game.
Yo, loser high 16 points. A guy I've never even heard
Santi
of.
Aldama.
A guy I've never even heard of. Yeah, come on.
Ja Morant with 10 points.
I think it was just what. Shout out to Memphis Grizzlies for a great season. They finished the season in second. They were dominant all year long. They were winning a lot of games even without Ja Morant and all his off the court shenanigans. And Dylan Brooks, I mean, he's again. We were kind of joking around this earlier. If those familiar with NBA 2K, there's a version of my player. It's your creative player, and you go through life as an NBA rookie. And you
make it all around
you
the
gotta,
NBA
you
2K.
you got to build up your guy. You got to win games. There's incentives. There's milestones to achieve, and then you go throughout the game. And if you're talking to reporters, there's decisions you make. There's things that you say, and it's going to determine. It's going to have a positive effect or a negative effect on you and the team and everything. And he's picked, and then you question, you get answering a bunch of questions, and he's saying all the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? If he feels it, that's one thing. If he feels it, he feels it. You can tell your teammates, your homies, whoever. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. I respect it. But to bring it to the media and this and that, he's born in 1996, so he's a younger man, And then I feel like and to disrespect the greats, Shannon Sharp, that wasn't cool.
Nah, that wasn't cool.
That wasn't cool. I mean, like, I get the competitive spirit, but then Memphis has told him he will not be back under any circumstances. So he effed himself out some money, a contract with either the Grizzlies and or other teams. Should we answer that, or somebody got it?
There's nobody else here.
Fuck. My bad. So we're moving along. Let's we're gonna finish out these scores here. You got the Grizzlies got closed out. That's my opinion on the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies got they had injury issues. They had Brandon Clark. He was a rotational big. He played a lot of minutes. Young guy for them. And Steven Adams. He's one of the better consistent centers. He was on the Thunder a long time, and he's out for the season. So they're missing key guys that got them in the second seed. So shout out to Memphis Grizzlies. Like I said, they might be making a few trades, or a few moves, just to kind of figure things out. How you doing? What's up? And then that's what they might be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they got to figure something out. If you're losing a piece, you don't get better, but that's not getting better. That's not getting better. It's getting worse.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Unless you replace them with someone better, or you got the move. So their off season is now. Moving forward, On Saturday, April 29th, we have the Phoenix Suns visiting the Denver Nuggets. Game 1. Holy smokes. We got the Denver Nuggets defeating the Suns 125 to 107. Jamal Murray, 34 points. Kevin Durant, 29 points. Joker's outplaying DeAndre Ayton. I felt DeAndre Ayton stands a chance. You know, I'm supporting him. You know,
He's
the
for
number
sure
one pick.
outplaying
He's
him.
the number one pick in his draft, but you know, ultimately, they're depending a lot on their starters, the Suns versus the Nuggets. The Nuggets aren't the, you know, maybe they don't get enough credit and whatever. It's not maybe hate or whatever. I feel as a franchise they got lucky. I say that all the time because their best player, MVP, former back-to-back MVP, two-time MVP, they dropped him in the second round.
Right.
Everybody passed on him in the draft, and some twice. He was in the middle of the second round, so he got, you know, so that's, and now they're in the first seed, and everything's built around him, and they got a great coach in Mike Malone, and the Suns have an uphill battle. More on them in a moment. And then on Sunday, April 30th, we had one of the worst days of my life.
One of the worst days of your life?
One of the worst days of my life. We had starting out, this wasn't it, but we had the Miami Heat at the New York Knicks. The Heat with the upset win against the 5 seeded Knicks.
Jimmy Butler again.
Jimmy Butler with 25 points, and Miami with the win 108 to 101. Next game, we had the Golden State Warriors visiting the Sacramento Kings in Game 7 of the first round.
I ain't gonna lie.
We had the Golden State Warriors scoring 120 points, and the Sacramento Kings scored 100 points, and Steph Curry individually had a 50-point game, and it is the first 50-point game in a Game 7.
Bruh.
The previous record was Kevin Durant with 48 a few years ago.
He's him, bro. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? I hate that it had to be your boys, but
Steph Curry is 35 years old. De'Aaron Fox is 25 years old.
You're talking about a player that literally has unlimited range and can make a shot from anywhere.
His
on the
father
court.
was in the NBA. They are who we thought they were.
You talking about
if
a
you
player.
want to crown, they are.
He can make a
do
shot from anywhere on the court.
They are. So shout out to the Kings for finishing third in the Western Conference, making the playoffs for the first time in 16 seasons, and drawing. You know, it's a blessing and a curse. You know,
Nobody else barely even scored. Steph just, oof, man,
so
tough.
We had.
But one thing I gotta say, man, you gotta. I don't know where you place Steph at amongst the greats, but you got it. He's got to be mentioned, bro.
I still got about 5-10 players above him personally.
You got to put him in top 10 though. I think top 10.
Personally, I could say all the. Okay, do you want to go on the list right now?
He's definitely.
You want to look at the list, the official list?
He's definitely the greatest shooter of all time.
He got the record. He beat Reggie and all that. You know, he beat Reggie and Hart. What was that on there? Harden, Reggie, Ray Allen.
But you talking about, like I said, somebody who can score from anywhere on the court. It's crazy. I don't even know if you could put
no one else on the Warriors had
20 points.
over 20. We had not the best series from Harrison Barnes. He's about to be a free agent. He's get some criticism. Pull up the website for me since we talk about the Kings, and this is going to be
Well, I got their stats up from this game. The Kings. Keegan Murray 10, Harrison Barnes 4, Sabonis 22.
We'll rebuild the Kings in later episodes, but we'll give it. We're not going to look too far ahead. We're going to focus on here and now. And it was the first round, and it was a series that went 7 games. And this is a team that a lot of people counted out before the season started. People barely had us making the playoffs, and we finished third. And we went against the champs in the first round. It's a blessing and a curse. Like, again, maybe we could have played someone else and had some better luck, but we got the experience of playing against them and taking them to 7. And, one of these games, it was a missed shot by Harrison Barnes.
Yeah.
It was a missed shot by Harrison Barnes, and like I said, we was up 2-0. You know, that showed, we were for real, and then we tied it up 3-3.
Steph Curry with the 50 burger though,
I
bro.
mean, he would have did that. He would have did that against anybody. He would have did that against anybody, any team. He would have did. He would have did that again.
Yeah,
he would have did that against us again. He would us, whoever. He would have did that against everybody. Like,
that was
cool.
like I watched this game and I was like,
Cool.
you may disagree with me, but he reminds me in that game, not overall, but in that game, he kind of reminded me of like how Kobe used to take over games. You know, barely even passing the ball. You know what I'm saying, or pass the ball, screen, shoot. You know what I'm saying. You know, but like I vividly remember a lot of those, especially those playoff games where Kobe did not pass the damn ball; he just kept shooting. And that was what I felt watching Steph Curry. So I get it; he would have done that to any team for sure. But
anybody, like,
but I was just like, damn, he picked Game 7 to do it.
And like, so now there's coaching. Now there's, again, we made it to Game 7 with the chance, but there is some. You know, I study the Kings like under a microscope. You know, there's nothing you can't teach me. Respectfully, there's nothing no one can tell me about the Kings that I don't already know. Respectfully, I know. Like, you're going to tell me something about the Kings, like I know. So, some of the issues in the comments, if you will, is their question Coach Brown's coaching decisions and some of the personnel now. So we're now the expectations is taken up a notch. Now we're like, okay, whose fault is it? We want to point fingers. It's a team as a whole, or whatever. But Davion Mitchell, he went to Baylor, won a championship. He's in his second year with us. We drafted him last year. Yeah, we drafted him last year. Backup point guard, real defensive minded, like similar to a Marcus Smart. He's our version of Marcus Smart.
Sure.
On the Kings, just a younger version. That's why. That's what I think. You know what I mean? So, and that maybe others have said the same. But so he played a lot of good minutes against Steph Curry, and he didn't play too many minutes in Game 7 because it's not Curry and Fox. You got point guard and point guard. You got somebody else guarding Fox. You got somebody else guarding Curry. You don't want to. They need these players fresh and to score points.
Right.
You know, and you wear down on the defensive end, so hence they give that responsibility to other players. So I feel Davion Mitchell should have played more versus some players, especially if they've had bad shooting nights. You know, some of the other players.
Shout out to Steve Stoner in the building.
Shout out to Steve. 23.
Steve Stoner.
23, also known as 23 Cups.
Shout out to Steve Stoner.
Yeah, so man, I could talk about this all day, but like it's a good building block, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of people had the Kings losing before that. You know, I felt the series was going 7. I had a gut feeling the series was going 7, and it would have been a dream come true if they would have, beat the Warriors in 7 games in the first round and dethroned the champs. That would have been anything and everything I could have asked for, prayed for, dreamed for in the sports world. Legit. But the Kings have the future's bright. We have 2 All-Stars in their mid-20s. And, and you see, again, Steph Curry, shout out to Steph Curry. He's playing at this level at 35 years old. He's the first player to have, if I remember, 35 plus to have a 50-point game. So, outside of probably LeBron, and again, I don't know.
Then Steph Curry missed a bunch of time earlier this season. So, you know what I'm saying? I guess he's probably making up for it now, you know what I'm saying?
So
But
my point being, if Steph Curry could play at this level at 35 years old,
he's got it.
And De'Aaron Fox is showing that he's gonna, him and Sabonis are gonna be an All NBA team. That means top 15 player, because it goes to first team, second team, third team.
So here's my question to you, Ed. Do you feel like, all things considered, Steph Curry's 35, Draymond Green, he's getting up there. To a certain extent, that team is getting older. Do you feel like your Kings need to wait till Steph isn't in the league anymore, or do you feel like y'all can beat them?
I think Draymond Green's 1 foot out the door. I think it's only a matter of time before the Kings beat the Warriors, because 5 years, the Kings and them is going to be in their 30s, early 30s, and the Warriors and them is going to be in their 40s.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what I'm
it'll
saying?
be
Like-
broken up by then.
or they'll be broken up by
Yeah,
then.
it'll be broken up. by
So
then, for
so
sure.
again, we have 10 years with this group. Like all the three main pieces. If you keep the three most important pieces in no particular order, or probably in this order: De'Aaron Fox, Sabonis, Keegan Murray. You want to go to hoops hypes? Oh man, I'm talk about that. Man, I can't. Man, I love the Kings. I don't want to spend too much time talking about it. But sum all that up. We're moving on. But as long as we keep those three pieces, the future's bright. We have 10 years to be in the playoffs. To be in the playoffs, and again, if we could play against the Warriors, we could play against anybody. We took the Warriors to 7 games. We won the division. We're going to be back next year. We're going to be in the playoffs next year. We're going legit be a top 4, top 6 team, like locked down next year, no matter what. As long as everyone's good and healthy and all that, we are good to go. So shout out to the Kings, and they're only going to get better next year because everyone's only going to get better, and we're going to add a piece or two along with it. And we're more hungry. Now we tasted the playoffs the first time in 16 years, and we want to build on that. Upward and onward progression. Shout out to Sacramento Kings, one of the top 3 season of all in the Sacramento Kings history, because we won the division. This would be the 3rd time since 1985. So this is top 3 season of all time. So shout out to the memorable season.
I'm just
and
like,
many more great seasons.
while I am like, you know, like I do feel excited for the Kings. I'm still just flabbergasted. Like, we can move on, but I'm just like,
it took us. It took a lot of wind out my sails. It did. Come on, it did. Of course it did. Of course it did. You know what I mean? Like, of course it did. I was almost like F all this. Like, the playoffs. That's where I was at. You know, like, of course it took some win, but that's, you know, that's you know, you win some, you lose some, and we won a lot of games this year, and we took the Warriors to 7 games.
So also you got game 2, Suns Nuggets.
Here we go. Okay, next game. There we go. There. Okay, so Suns and Nuggets game 2. Denver slowed it down, but they still got the win, 97 to the Suns 87. Chris Paul got hurt, by the way. Nikola Jokic 39 points. Devin Booker 35 points. Chris Paul is projected to be out. Doubtful for games 3, 4, and 5. That is a major hit to the Phoenix Suns. They're already lost 2 games to the first seed Denver Nuggets. Hopefully this series is extended and we're not seeing the Phoenix Suns lose games in Phoenix. Shout out to Phoenix and the Suns. You know, I was there not that long ago. So
KD and
Phoenix loves Booker. Phoenix loves their
scoring clinic.
So, but if there's no Chris Paul, they're not as good. Or you need a big game from Cameron Payne. I believe he's their backup point guard.
Yep, Cameron
Payne. So you gotta earn your paycheck. Or like I said, you're
next
the
man
backup,
up.
Next man up. You better play with your Chris Paul spirit. You better listen whatever. You better play like you Chris Paul. Shoot, if you want to have a chance, if you want to, you know. But it's a lot to ask for the Phoenix Suns. They were their depth has been depleted with the Kevin Durant trade, and you got Chris Paul out, so that might be a little too much for him, you know, presently. And you know, the Suns will be better next year because they'll get better pieces, they'll get better free agents. Who doesn't want to play with all these pieces? But how much is left of Chris Paul? But you got Devin Booker and Kevin Durant locked up like a long time, at least like 4 years, both of them, like 3-4 years, whatever it is. Both of them. So a lot they will attract a lot of free agents, even if Chris Paul is done. I hope he's not. You know what I'm saying? I don't wish harm or negative on any man, you know, or whatever. I wish everyone long, prosperous lives and careers. But if Chris Paul is, you know, 1 foot out the door of the league or the Suns, you know, they got to figure it out. And this is what lost. You know, this is multiple times Chris Paul gets hurt in the playoffs. It's just like the best ability is
he's always hurt in the playoffs.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, and we're human beings. You know, no one's playing 82 games their whole career, but like every season. But to get hurt when it counts the most, and it's just like I feel if any team could have upset the Warriors by now in their reign in the West, you know, the last team to beat them in the West was
Who?
2014 Lob City Clippers.
Lob
With
City.
Chris Paul.
Chris Paul.
You know, full circle. Chris Paul, Blake
Lob
Griffin.
City.
In 2015, that's when Steph and them. That's when they started their run, right? And then if they had lost, it's been in the finals. But as far as the West, that's the last time. So of course, me watching against the Kings and all, they're bringing all this up.
Right.
A lot of, believe it or not, Kings did have some support, and some picked them. We competed. We took them to the limit. We almost did it. You know what I'm saying? Almost doesn't count, yes, but like we have experience for next year. Now we're seasoned. Now we're expected to go versus surprising. Now we're not so much a Cinderella team. Next year's Cinderella team, next year's version of Sacramento could be the Oklahoma City Thunder, because they got a lot of young pieces. They've tasted the playoffs. They're only going to get better. So, man, okay, more on all that later. But yeah, moving on. Shout out to the Suns, man. Shout out to Chris Paul, man. Get well. Hope it ain't too serious, but if it is, the Suns are in trouble for sure. And Tuesday, May 2nd, we had two games. We had game 2 of the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. The Knicks with the win, 111 to the Heat's 105. A lot of stars out. Aaron Rodgers and them was out. A lot of big names are out in the New York Knicks.
There's a lot of people out in New York.
And then
Aaron Rodgers, fresh in New York, he ain't waste no time coming to the
there
game.
with Lazard for sure. And then, and last but not least, we had game 1 of the highly anticipated
Last night, Steph versus LeBron.
Still not. It's real. It is what it is. It's the Lakers at the Golden State Warriors. Next year we'll be in the second round. But the Lakers at the Warriors. The Lakers 117 to the Golden State Warriors 112. I saw a stat. Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Jordan Poole each had 6 3-pointers.
Sheesh.
The Lakers had 6 pointers, only 6 as a team, and then they won the game. But
Anthony
they
Davis
dominated on the inside.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis had a 30 and 20 game.
23 rebounds.
30 and right. So but also Kevin Looney. It's not a fluke. Kevin Looney is he's underrated. He got 20 rebounds of his own against Anthony Davis. So he's out rebound. Like I said, Sabonis, all-star caliber, made the all-star team. Anthony Davis, all-star caliber. Kevin Looney, half the Warrior fans probably don't even know who he is. But he's getting 20 rebounds a game. So like again, so he's keeping them. You got to get him off the boards. That's second opportunities.
Cleaning them boards.
Like I said, that's why again Kings were losing close games because this guy is out rebounding the rebound again. Sabonis led the league in rebounds, but that's in the running gun. A lot of possessions, this and that. So that plays a part. But there's the fast pace and there's bodying in the paint, and then
6'9".
Holy crap, Kevin Looney
Came out of nowhere too. Damn near, I feel like 30th pick in the first round of the 2015 draft.
So
God damn, he came right out of high school.
So we got any quick loose predictions
For these next series?
for these series? We're here. It's now.
I would
It's here,
say
it's now.
my next prediction would be to see Warriors and Lakers go 7 games.
I see Warriors and Lakers going 7 games. You got the 6 seed Warriors, the 7 seed Lakers. I saw another stat that says first time is 1 seed, 1 through 8 is in the playoffs.
I actually feel like
Team-wise, it's still in the playoffs 1 through 8. If that makes sense.
Yep.
Yeah. So Warriors and Lakers. I got the Lakers closing out. They already stole game 1 in Golden State. So they did.
This is a hard
the Warriors
got to
win one in LA, which is possible.
I was about to say,
But I feel even though I think the Lakers and LeBron James is more hungrier than the Warriors. The Warriors probably a little more. We could agree. A lot of talent, a lot of this, a lot
It's
of that.
almost crazy though. You take away, and this is going back to earlier season. You take away Westbrook, and all of a sudden they kind of,
Because it opens up the floor.
They
It
kinda
allows them
gel.
to down. It allows them to do this, all that.
you know,
It
you
just
got
because Westbrook and LeBron was too similar. I remember, however, it was. I remember when they first happened, when all this happened. It was just like, yo, this is a bad trade. Like, yo, this isn't gonna work. It was a marquee deal. It was a. Oh yeah, we got the best players and the all stars and this and you know the. But it's got to flow. It's got to work. The pieces got to fit, and LeBron needs shooters around him. He's proved that from the Cleveland first run to the Miami to everything. He needs shooters around him for everything to work. You know, and pure shooters. And D'Angelo Russell helps, and yeah, the pieces they got in the trade, it all worked out. It all worked out. So I feel LeBron. I wouldn't want to be anywhere in that locker room, or anywhere near LeBron if they lose, if they don't win the championship. If they don't win the championship, that's what he wants. That's what he's playing for. That's what he expects. If it's going to be at the Lakers, it's going to be anywhere else. He's still playing to win championships. And that's going to be an asterisk next to him if Steph Curry gets to his 5th ring before LeBron.
that's crazy.
So that's what's on the table here. So
I got the Nets, not the Nets. I got the Nuggets.
So the Nuggets, it's
They'll
looking bad for
they'll
the
close
Suns.
them out by the time we do another
if
show.
if you got Chris Paul out, like I said, corner reports. You want to look up Chris Paul real quick? Chris Paul availability for Game 3.
They'll be out before the next time.
Chris Paul's status in doubt for Games 3 and 4 groin strain 19 hours ago. Suns guard Chris Paul's status is doubt for against the Nuggets this weekend because of left groin strain. Okay, so he's doubtful, right? So that probably not. That's what that means. Probably not. So that's yeah, dang it. So I was rooting for the Suns to do that, but the Nuggets may be for real. You know, for real. They're again, they're the number 1 seed for a reason. So I don't know. I think the Suns go out swinging though. The Suns don't get swept. Suns go out swinging for sure. I don't want to. I still. I don't want to pick against Durant. I want to pick against Durant.
And Devin Booker, man.
And I'm more of a Durant guy than a Booker guy.
I would make the claim.
I feel I'm more of a Durant guy than a Booker guy.
But Devin Booker has probably been, even since he's been, they've both been great, but he's still been the more dominant player.
Well, I mean, he's young legs. He's
Yeah.
more minutes, more gas in the tank for sure. More gas in the tank. So interesting. Next series we got the Sixers and the Celtics. This was again, if anybody could beat the Celtics, it's the Sixers. The Celtics is still the favorite to get out the East. Everyone's still predicting them. Did you see?
It's a really strong team.
Right. But I think without Embiid, that's a lot to ask. I mean, again, James Harden scored 45 points, but again, that's a lot to ask for the
They play
Sixers.
tonight, 7 o'clock.
Play tonight for sure. And then what's the spread on that?
Damn, I wouldn't mind going somewhere, getting some wings and watching the game.
Check you out.
But I can't.
Check you out. Oh yeah, Matt is Mr. Discipline here. Boston 8.5. Right. Boston's got to bounce back from that. They lost game 1 at home. But I see the Celtics, especially if Embiid is unavailable.
Well, the Celtics lost the first game.
Yeah, but the Celtics going to win tonight. They're going to win tonight. Because especially if Embiid is still out again. James Harden is scoring 45 points. That's not happening every game. That's not happening every game. Not against the Boston Celtics.
I mean, Mike still got a little left in the tank, man.
I see Celtics win that game. The Sixers is a feel-good story. Joel Embiid finally getting MVP and all that. I think the Celtics are just more experience. I'm going with the experience factor here. I think, again, they were just in the finals. So, and last but not least, we got the Knicks in the Heat. The best player is Jimmy Butler, but he missed.
They're not playing until Saturday.
Yeah, but if he's out extended time, again, impressive for both sides. The fact that the Knicks or the Heat are going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals is impressive. Is impressive. No one had that. No one had that. Everyone had, again, Milwaukee, Boston, and Philadelphia for the most part. That was like the big three of the East, like all year. So yeah, man. So we shall see. We shall see. Stranger things has happened. So shout out to all the teams, man. But yeah, I'll rebuild the Kings soon, but not tonight. Not today. I'm gonna rebuild the Kings soon. They give me a call. I'm one of their biggest consultants, fans, advocates ever, for sure.
So yeah, man. Good week in the NBA. So we watched the draft last week.
We did watch. We had the draft episode. So we had and people tuned in. Appreciate everybody. We had so last week was Wednesday.
A lot of people were telling me they like that show.
And then we
it
had
was
Thursday. We chimed in. Like I said, I've been out of town. You know, like Matt's got to have the setup. As long as Matt has the setup, Matt has the computer and the Wi-Fi. Like we can have a whole episode. Like we got the studio, of course, and the podcast room, and the better camera, the real cameras. You know, but
the show can go on the road.
The show could go on the road. Yeah, like I said, you see me at the crib on the phone. I was eating, doing the show, watching the draft. Like I said, 22 picks. That show was 2.5 hours. So it was a lot. We didn't even finish the first round.
Didn't even finish.
I was like, yeah, we do not have a round two in us. If this took,
but I mean, you obviously
we ain't got a round two. Like, yeah, no, but we did that. It was fun. Yeah, more live events. Like I said, we'll take suggestions if we take the show on the road. Again, I say our next step is, like I said, the draft is always cool. Next step is maybe a live game, the NBA draft. Oh, for sure. You want to hear me talking stuff? Yeah, the NBA draft. That's probably next on the list, whenever that is. I think it's
after the season.
Yeah, it's like right
after the season.
It's like it's like maybe like a month after the finals, something like that. So that's probably, I'm putting out there now. The NBA draft will be our next version. Maybe we'll be somewhere. I love the NBA draft. The NBA draft. Me and Deroyce watch the draft all the time. The draft is fun. The draft is fun. Hopefully a trade or two happens, and like I said, teams can really, make some big moves and make some drastic improvement on this day. A lot of moves are made on this day. So shout out to the drafts.
I would say so.
So the football draft.
Yes.
Back to football. Okay, so who winners, losers?
Winners,
losers.
Pick a winner and a loser from
the winners. Houston. I'm saying it now. Houston. They is a double-edged sword. They gave up a little bit of future assets, but they got the number 2 pick and the number 3 pick. We didn't see that coming. They traded with the Cardinals, if I remember right.
Cardinals.
And then they got quarterback from Ohio State, and they got defense from
edge rusher from Alabama.
Exactly. So like 2 building blocks, 2 chances, opportunities. So, hey, this guy could be the whole franchise. This could be the next friggin' J.J. Watt, loose comparison, J.J. Watt, Deshaun Watson. Franchise caliber, Pro Bowl caliber players. You know what I'm saying? On the field. On the field, right? So, Houston. Who else?
I'm gonna pick the Eagles as probably like the biggest.
Oh, because they got the young man with the situation. Because a lot of teams wasn't dealing with that.
There's literally no holes. They picked up Jalen Carter at the 9th pick, which was another. I also called him being a winner again because you figure they just won the Super Bowl and they're picking at 9, man.
But that was a move
it was from a trade.
Yeah, it was from a trade. It's from the
but
Saints.
I mean, I'm just thinking about
Saints. That's how they got there. The Saints. That's that. Okay, so who was supposed to get 9? The Saints.
Right.
The Saints. So yeah, that's how they got that. But again, some of these trades. Oh man, some of these trades pay off, especially for future picks. Like, oh yeah, that's where that came from. Da, 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 da. Again, the Fournette. Again, we gave up half this draft for friggin' Christian McCaffrey, which is great. Proven. Sometimes you need to get it together right now. Some of these are projects. Some of these don't happen season 1.
Another big story out of this first round, Will Levis not being drafted.
That's all I was just about to say. Yeah, him and his girlfriend showed up at the draft. He didn't show up to the second day.
He was the one who
He
got
dropped.
memed up for his
But
girl.
you see, Tennessee got an offensive tackle, and
And
he's
they
going to
did.
compete for the job with Willis, and they're not sold on Willis. If he's still there, even
I was about to say he might be competing against Tannehill.
is Tannehill still there? I
Yeah.
mean, he's still there, but
He's still there.
I mean, is he projected to start exactly while you drafting a quarterback? Again, I thought he was 1 foot out the door. I thought they're getting ready to get rid of him or not play him.
It more so like bridge quarterback type of energy. You know what I'm saying? He's just gonna play it out a little bit too.
Yeah,
The
and,
next
and,
quarterback.
and have the young fella take over.
Yeah.
But get young fella ready, i.e.,
And then
similar to Brock Purdy's path,
yeah.
right? Back up, he's there when he's ready. Quarterbacks get hurt or quarterbacks get pulled. Especially, and I don't know how many, I think Tannehill's window is closing. His best years are behind him, not ahead of him. Exactly. He's had some good years, but
Also, another crazy move that happened during the draft. I'm going back to the Eagles. The Eagles. So when we were watching, the Lions picked up a running back at 12, Jahmyr Gibbs.
seen that.
And then we were like,
They went running back because they lost both their running backs.
no, they did. They traded.
Okay.
They traded DeAndre Swift, who's like
Solid.
a solid starting running back,
Right.
to the Eagles. So if you're Cowboys,
But the Eagles did get
I
better.
know you think this is your year,
The Eagles did get better, right? The Eagles got better.
but the Eagles,
The Eagles did get better. They upgraded at running back. They upgraded at defensive tackle. And they saved some money at defensive tackle because we just paid their defensive tackle.
Hargrave.
Right. So he's top dog. So for them, again, they lost that. And that's what they drafted. Again, they replaced them immediately.
So you
the
boys,
Eagles are
you boys in the,
the
NFC
Eagles-
East, you Cowboy fans, bro.
the Eagles did that. The
Don't
Eagles
get
did
your hopes too high. You know what I'm saying?
No, I
It's-
mean, they drafted you want to get to the they drafted a running back,
Cowboys.
didn't they?
Cowboys in the first round.
Not in the first round, but in the draft they did.
So Cowboys' first round pick was Mozzie Smith, defensive tackle from Michigan. Decent pick, to shore up that defense even more. They had a great defense last year. Mozzie Smith would probably be a good piece to just be able to clog up those holes and allow the linebackers to really run. He's a big boy. But the Eagles, if you're a Cowboys fan and you think that this is your year, you think that this is your year, you think it's your year, but it's probably not. It's probably not. You know what I'm saying? All things considered, you know what I'm saying? I kind of see. Y'all bounced the Cowboys last year from the playoffs, though.
Past 2 years, correct?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't.
Big facts.
I don't see the Eagles. I mean, I don't see the Cowboys being successful without conquering
the NFC
Cowboys.
East.
Yes.
They have to win the NFC East to have a preferred path going into the playoffs and what have you. To win the division, that's always To try to get to the Super Bowl on the road sucks. You want to have some home games in the playoffs. That's ideal. That's an advantage for sure. Yeah, for sure. So
Also in the first round, there was a run on wide receivers late. You had Jackson Smith all back to back. All of the top receivers came off.
Ravens drafted a wide receiver. Matt was pretty excited about that.
Zay Flowers, very.
He was looking pretty cool. He had some cool sunglasses.
Yeah, very.
Everybody had the. Bro, everybody had some.
Everybody was
houses.
iced out. Yeah.
They had some houses, bro.
Yeah, everybody was iced out. I feel like when I used to watch like whenever you see,
they got houses, bro.
Whenever you see like the old draft footage from like the 80s,
Dion,
but
suits,
not
suits.
they look like so old. Then.
Oh, they look old, right?
Yeah, like even then they look old. So it's just
Era, man.
it's that era, yeah.
Era, man.
It's that grown man era. But yeah, it's a pretty entertaining first round of the draft. It was a lot of trades.
A lot of trades. Just like draft, the pick's about to happen. Next, thing you know, like someone it's going to someone else. Like, and then they explain it, and no, that kept it entertaining for sure.
The 49ers didn't pick to the third round, if I'm
Correct. And then we didn't draft to the third round for sure. But like I said, we half this draft we traded for Christian McCaffrey, so that's fine. Like we got one of the better running backs, and we sacrificed half the draft like for one of the better.
He's
players.
in his prime.
He's in his prime. Yeah, one of the better running backs. It was like that's worth it. Like shoot. Versus the draft again. The draft is one big old crapshoot, big old lottery. Some of these players may not. The average career is 3 years. Some of these players may not get an extension. Some of these players, whatever, may not see the field.
And then when you look down, there's some player in the 4th round or in the 5th round
That becomes the next Tom Brady.
Yeah. So, there's no
Next
real
friggin' Deion Sanders.
There's no real way of like that has to be like a really hard job to like assess like players and who's gonna actually be successful on your team.
You look at everything. You look at all their stats. Then you look at who they played against. Then you look at their attributes.
They fucking they because they talked about this when Jamarcus Russell got drafted. They had a private investigator follow him for like a month before they drafted him. Yeah,
it's a little
it's a little excessive, but
it's like almost like
the
invasion of privacy.
But here's the thing: what they found out about Jamarcus Russell, they didn't listen to what was being told to them. What they saw and following him. He was literally partying every night. You know what I'm saying?
What was the one? And he's done some. Did he go to jail? Claret. From Ohio.
Maurice Claret,
bruh.
Well, Maurice Claret was a different story because
but that's like one of the biggest stories ever. That's my point. Like he's not Jamar. This is two different categories, two different stories. But like, no, Maurice Claret. He said this. He used to go to practice drunk, hungover, what the f ever. Did all kind of BS. He was one of the ones.
Maurice Claret
was one of the ones, bro.
He got into some shit. I don't know if you know the story of Maurice Claret.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I remember like he got it. He got his son.
This what happened because you may not know the full story.
Okay, man.
What happened to Maurice Claret was Maurice Claret was trying to come out of college in his sophomore year.
Yeah, he tried to get drafted. He was just trying to get paid.
Because he took a lot of money from some loan sharks.
Okay, the plot thickens.
Yes,
probably didn't know. Probably don't remember that. Okay. Or
he took some money for some loan sharks, thinking that he was about to get drafted and he'd be able to just pay it back. He ends up not getting drafted, and then I don't know what particularly happened to his debts or whatever, but he sues the NFL.
Okay, I do remember.
He sues the NFL for not allowing him to get drafted in his sophomore year. Then comes out he was initially thought to be a first round pick. But he comes out the year later in his junior year and is a 3rd round pick, I think, to the Broncos.
Yeah, to the
Broncos. And then that's when, he's like drunk at practice and like not really acting like he wants to be there. I think he was there for like 1 year, if that. Yeah. And the next year he was robbing people. Right. And I think he did some years in the penitentiary over it. But the crazy part is he's out now. He's like a preacher or something like that.
Shout out to Maurice Claret.
Yeah, shout out to Maurice Claret, though.
That is wild.
Yeah, like, that's really wild.
Shout out to the draft. Kansas City, look nice. Where's it next year?
I think in Vegas.
Yeah, I think I did see that, yeah.
I think it's in Vegas next year. So, yeah, lot of cool moves in the NFL. Like last week we said, Lamar is back on the Ravens. We
Or
got
yeah, and then they
Zay Flowers, OBJ,
OBJ. The future is bright.
Mark Andrews. Now our wide receiving core looks like.
Okay.
That was probably the only other thing I want to touch on in NFL because I'm like, bro, we was going through that beginning part of this offseason and everybody was like, what the fuck are the Ravens doing? What are the Ravens doing? They look crazy. They ain't got no wide receiver. They can't keep Lamar. All this stuff, and then bam, bam, bam.
Good. No, it's
bam,
good. It's nothing to talk
bam.
about. It's nothing to talk about. Now it's
Whole different story.
Yeah, it's
Whole different. Shut everybody up.
It's a 5-year window for him to get it done.
Yeah.
It's a 5-year window
to
for
get it
him to
done.
get it done, and he has the opportunities to do it. There's nothing. It was a lot of back and forth, cat and mouse, whatever, But it got done. It got done. The part that happened before all that is division rival Cleveland Browns signing Deshaun Watson,
Right.
and this was a ripple effect to the Lamar Jackson
But watch how much the
situation.
Browns suck.
True, but it was because in the NFL more so they compare themselves to other players in negotiation.
Right.
They're like, I'm equivalent to this player, or I'm better than this player, and this is how much he makes. This is my starting negotiation because I could go to other teams and ask for this and all that.
Now, technically, in Lamar's situation, he did get a contract worth more money than Deshaun Watson, but he just got less guaranteed money. 175 million guaranteed and 260 million overall value of the contract. Also, he gave his mom $7.8 million for negotiating the deal. Talk about family business.
That's what's up.
That's crazy. Talk about generational wealth.
That's what's up. Good. So,
But yeah, we will keep you all in tune to
as far as new,
NFL news.
the latest free agent news and when training camp and all that. But it is this big day in the NFL. But it's they got a long summer ahead of them. Season is September to December. What preseason's August, training camp's August, right?
Training camps August.
Yeah, so we
Mini
got,
camps are next or this month actually, I think.
Well, okay, so we're in May, so we got 3 months.
You got 3 months to
So
to
we're
some
talking about
action.
some training camps and preseason. So
Don't worry, it'll go by quick.
be quite quick. That'll be 12 episodes from now, approximately. I bet.
But yeah,
Shout out to the NFL draft.
what's up with the XFL, man?
The
I know
XFL, the
championships
XFL,
is this
the
weekend,
championship.
man.
Okay, so it's next week because it's 2 weeks. So it's the hometown Arlington Renegades again.
Arlington won?
Arlington won. We didn't have this conversation.
We did not have this conversation.
We didn't. This didn't happen last week. Okay. Yeah, Arlington won
Against Houston?
against Houston. Yeah.
Wait, did they?
Yeah, again, the championship is in San Antonio. Yeah, against Washington D.C. So April 29th. Okay, bet. So it just happened this Saturday. Okay, Arlington upsets Houston 26-11.
Oh, that's crazy.
We had Luis Perez passing leader 289, Davion Smith 94 rushing yards, receiving leader Devontae Payton 121. So yeah, Arlington with the win in this South Division Championship. So that's their, and then the North Division Championship, it was Seattle at DC, and DC with the win.
So it'd
At
be
home,
DC
37
versus
at
Ag
21.
Town.
Yes.
Yo, the Ag Town could get a championship? Dang, that's what's
If
up.
we would consider going, like we support, we got some homies at the XFL and the Renegades and Cali and all that. Cali's Tacos, all that. And then, but it's the same day as Lardy Land, so we will be
Be at
supporting
Lardy
from
Land.
afar. Shout out to the Arlington Renegades, but bring it home to the Ag. Those aren't familiar. You have Dallas, you have Fort Worth, and you have Arlington. Arlington
Right in
is
the
where the
middle.
Cowboy Stadium is. It's where the baseball stadium is, and it's where Six Flags is. So, and we've had a lot of friends of the studio from Arlington. So
It's
shout out to
literally the
Arlington.
bridge between Fort Worth and Dallas.
Basically, there you go. Yeah, that's what it explained. Yeah. So, shout out to Arlington. Again, that's where the Cowboy Stadium is. So, bring it on home. And if they got any celebrate, if there's some celebrations, me and Matt will
Pull up.
yeah, for sure. We'll pull up.
So yeah,
We'll give you some we'll give y'all some.
the Ag Town,
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Agtown for sure. So the XFL, and then to sum it all up, about sports, but you want to talk about Lil Wayne, the greatest of all time?
I mean, we could touch on.
I
we
mean,
could touch on-
I don't know what else we talk about. I mean, we summed up the
So,
past 7 days.
what can I say about Lil Wayne? So, Lil Wayne,
He's in town.
he's in town for sure.
He's in town. Start there.
I've been listening to Lil Wayne since 2004, like for real.
Like for real. Like,
And I was at lunch.
That's when the
and
Carter-
that was when the Carter 1 came out.
the Carter One.
And
came
somebody
out, yeah.
burnt me a Carter 1. Sorry, you're not supposed to pirate, but somebody burnt me a Carter 1 CD.
He knows. Lil Wayne knows.
You know what I'm saying? And
He knows.
gave me that Carter 1, man. And I had been listening to Lil Wayne, especially in that era of time. Like, I know that Carter 1 cover to cover, like word for
High
word.
influence, highly big influence,
Yeah, that Carter 1, bro. I know
around,
that album
around here,
cover to cover.
our generation, who does not
ain't
love
it.
Cash Money and all
Cash
them,
Money
and all them.
millionaire.
And the Hot Boys and Big Timers.
I said the cops
everybody.
is watching, the streets is
Everybody.
talking on ungrateful.
BG, free
niggas,
BG,
ungrateful
BG's I
niggas
just
ain't
assumed.
loyal.
Turk,
Ain't
you know,
loyal.
man, where's Turk? Man,
And
Turk.
he locked up. And everybody
Turk.
saw it. And they ain't data.
Julie, Fresh, Berman.
But Lil Wayne in Dallas tonight, man.
Lil Wayne is in Dallas tonight.
And I've never seen Wayne live, so
Come on.
shout out to Wheezy F. Hopefully he goes through some classic jams. Give me some of the nostalgic mixtape and album content that he has created
Come on.
over the years.
Come on.
But yeah, Wayne, I can't say I put him at the top of my list, but he's like, if there's a Mount Rushmore, his face is on there.
For sure. For sure.
You know
for
what I'm
sure.
saying? That's how I put it.
In especially when our generation, for sure.
Right.
But for sure, like hands down. But Wayne competes with other generations based on
Yeah. He was in like 3 or 4 generations of hip hop though.
His impact, his numbers,
Yeah.
his influence. Come on, man. We'll get bigger.
I can't.
Discovered Drake. Like,
And Nicki Minaj.
and Nicki Minaj, right? Them days, that was some good time. Them starting out, yeah, that really like you seen it manifesting. Like, yo, this is gonna go.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was gonna go. I didn't think Drake was gonna be as big as he got.
The crazy
You think
part
Drake
is,
was gonna be around. I didn't think Drake was gonna be.
I will say
10
this.
years ago?
So
That's my first
and
Drake
I said I put a date on because sometimes with me I can like if it's a big artist or something like that I can remember the first time I listened to him. Drake I've been listening to since 2006, and I was like at a homie house and he was like, "You gotta listen to this guy Drake. He's gonna be the next big rapper in the game." And then he gave me a mixtape called Comeback Season. It's Drake. And it's like literally a bunch of Drake freestyles.
2006, when I first heard of Drake, I'll say 2000. First heard of Drake. I'm gonna get up to not no damn 2006.
I was in high school when I first heard Drake.
I think it was Best I Ever, the one with Trey Songz and all that.
That was a little bit after that.
That's when I from
Right.
the general public.
The general public, but
you was deep.
I was deep in the mixtapes in them days. So
Right.
somebody gave me that Comeback Season mixtape, and they was like, Drake. It was a dope mixtape, but I would have never have guessed that he would have gone on to have the type of success that he has had now. And obviously, he's aligned himself with Wayne and Cash Money and all of that. And it's nothing
seen
but
Drake?
respect for the guys.
Have you seen Drake?
So I haven't seen Drake perform in the arena, but I've seen him perform in a nightclub.
Okay, that count. I count.
I've
that.
seen Drake. I've seen Drake and Travis Scott perform in nightclubs.
Okay, I got a throwback for you. Courtesy of Never Satisfied, of course. I saw Drake Future Summer 16. Summer 16. So I first moved to Dallas 2015. Summer 16. Wasn't that one of the best summers of your life?
Yeah, it was a pretty
best
cool summer.
summers of your life. Never Satisfied was in full
effect.
All throttle, full throttle. Chapter 2. Shout out to everybody. Part of chapter 2. But we was full throttle. Yeah, we was doing some big things.
That was
back in the good old days.
I want to say that was around the time.
There's days ahead, but those were some good days, of course.
We had
those
the Chris Brown concerts. And
that was right. I came right after Chris Brown. But Summer 16. That was in Austin.
Yeah,
Summer 16 in Austin. It was the basketball stadium for the University of Texas. That's where they performed. Yeah, man. Shout out to Never Satisfied, of course.
And shout out to Wayne.
Shout out to Wayne. Man, come on, bro. More on Wayne next time. But more on Wayne. Shout out to Wayne, man. He's in Dallas, man. Dallas is a great place to be. A lot of things to do, a lot of music, a lot of stuff, man. Dallas is only growing, man. Top 5 in rental properties, and they're building a Universal Studios out here in Frisco.
In Frisco, yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, what? Okay, this is what happened. I guess it's not news. There's a Frisco State Fair. It's supposed to be like 2 weeks. I didn't know that, right? So this Frisco just happened, right? So this past weekend, it's supposed to be like for like 2-3 weeks. All of the above, 911 calls, fighting, shooting, all that. The city shut it down. It was only happening for like 2-3 days, and it was supposed to be like 2-3 weeks. Frisco is a lot of people in Frisco, not from Frisco. Frisco is just new developments.
I mean, Frisco is supposed to be like, in a few years, it's expected to be kind of like how Arlington is, or like it's gonna become a bigger city. Wow, they're building all of that stuff there so it can be like a full like.
Especially get that Universal going.
Yeah,
I mean they got the Cowboys practice stadium, and they got Jerry's World right there, which is pretty cool.
It's a lot of stuff in Frisco though. It's a lot of offices, a lot of
new money, tech money,
a lot of new money, tech money,
developments, develop like crazy. Again, all that Frisco wasn't there 10-20 years ago.
So and a Universal Studios in there, like that literally puts Frisco as like an actual like that puts them on the map. Yeah, that puts them on the map. Obviously, Baby Jerry World does too, the Ford Center, but Universal Studios, that's like a worldly draw.
Yeah. You got Orlando, you got and LA.
Yeah. And then you got
Frisco, Texas.
Frisco.
Which is 20-30 minutes north of Dallas.
Yeah.
So it's its own county, its own area, but that is where the practice facility for the Dallas Cowboys is. I've been through there with Paulie and them. It's pretty nice.
Oh yeah, Paulie got the membership.
I've seen Jerry Jones in real life.
I haven't.
I was like, yo.
He probably.
I've seen him in real life once. I walked right past him and everything. Like, because I was with Paulie and Big Homie and a few other people, and it was like we were in there. Yeah, I've been there like a couple times.
So Jerry just be hanging out in there.
One time he was, but it wasn't just everybody and their mama. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, I wasn't gonna get in there by myself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I know
I'm with the right people.
You talking about?
I'm with the right people.
You talking about the Cowboys club?
Yeah, I'm not the Cowboy, but the whatever. You could look out the window and see the field.
Yeah,
all that. Yes.
You talking about the Cowboys club?
The Cowboys club, whatever you call it. Yeah.
It's called the Cowboys club.
The Cowboys club. Okay, I didn't know the official name.
Yeah,
I said we're the Cowboys.
No, it's
the Cowboys club. Yeah,
it's like an exclusive.
Yeah, I've been there.
Kind of, you know what I'm saying?
I wasn't gonna be
access only.
I wasn't gonna be wearing my freaking Kaepernick jersey. I'm not doing that. There's a time and a place.
Yeah. Now, the last time I went there, I went to like the little place where they have all the Lombardis and the rings and things like that.
I don't remember if I saw it.
I did see that.
I don't remember.
All of that stuff is up there.
I would have took a picture of that. If I would have saw that, I would have took a picture. I don't remember seeing that.
I saw it though.
Okay, bet. Let's lit.
Yeah.
Hey man, shout out to DFW, man. Basketball, football. What time? I don't even know where we're at. What time? I didn't ask you.
We are at 1:20.
1:20. Shorter episodes because we're not going through about 20, 30 games.
Right.
In basketball and breaking that down. football. We're not touching on football games.
I'm waiting for the season to start.
Waiting for the season, like I said. Yeah, this is again. Shout out to again once again. Shout out to the NBA. Shout out to the NFL. And I think we're wrapping up here. If we ain't we covered a lot of things. But again, once again, thank you for tuning in to Normal Guys Talk Sports. This is episode 40. Today is May 3rd. Wednesday, it's approximately 5:15 Central Standard Time. We are located in the Dallas area, DFW. Shout out to everybody. I'm going to start this up if you ain't got nothing else to say.
No, you start.
Okay, our shout out to everyone that rocks with us. Shout out to the viewer at home. Shout out to our support, our fans, everybody, friends, family, everybody. We love you all. Thank you for everything, for all the support. There is no show without you guys and Matt, of course. And then shout out to the studio. This is Never Satisfied Studios. Around a long time. A lot of cool stuff has happened here. I've been a part of, shout out to the studio, everybody here, Double R, of course, Rayo Raheem, shout out to him forever. He built it along with Ian, and and we get to reap the benefit and utilize all the resources that a lot of people don't have. Thank you for that. Shout out to Lardy and Lardy Land. That's a big deal. You want to pull up some Lardy stuff?
Oh yeah,
Ride it. Yeah,
Lardy
we'll close out with Lardy, of course. Shout out to Lardy. We love Lardy. Lardy is a lot of things. Lardy is so dope. Lardy's great in a lot of ways, for sure. So Lardy is she has her, for ones that aren't familiar.
I don't know if you so you got Lardy Land Festival, you got Riff Raff,
correct,
Lardy B, you got Tay Money, you got the Road Music, you got
big time. This is big
Chromatic,
This
you
is
got
big time.
Molly Water, Javon, you got Project Duff, you got Merced, you got so many artists.
I got the flyer.
Bonte, you got a lot.
I know about like half these names. Okay, but shout out to everybody.
But I shout out the
of course,
the
big
headlines
lineup,
there.
big day. This is going to be May 13th, Southside Music Hall, correct? May 13th, the day before Mother's Day. It's I'm gonna be around. I'm doing something. I'm a part of it. Lardy told me. The last time I saw Lardy, she's like, "Get ready to drop somebody famous." That's what she told me. That's what I do.
You might be driving Riff Raff.
I might be driving Riff Raff in the Never Satisfied Mobile.
In the Never Satisfied Mobile.
One of the company cars for sure. Probably the black SUV. That's probably what's gonna happen. I'll keep you guys updated. But I'm excited. Yeah, shout out to everyone making it happen. It's a big deal. Again, Lardy was doing Lardy Land before Never Satisfied. And now Never Satisfied is and me. And Lardy and everybody in Never Satisfied is the franchise. This is it's only up. It's only up. So she's again, for her to pull that off even before she got to us is amazing. What I'm saying? So I can't shout her out enough and give her her props. Oh yeah, 23. Shout out to 23. So that's Steve Stoner. I don't know if he's still tuned in. He's promoting the events for sure. Wrestling promos. The wrestling promo. Kind of promo.
But yeah, man, Lardy Land should be awesome.
So Lardy Land, what is tickets? LardyLand.com. What are we doing?
TheRealLardyB.com.
TheRealLardyB.com is where you get your tickets. Let's post some Lardy. There we go.
That was my laptop.
That was his laptop. But we still we're still here.
We still here though.
We're still here. All right. So shout out to so Lardy Land, pull up May 13th.
Pull up.
Yeah, pull up. Well, Matt and Ed and all everyone's Never Satisfied favorites will be in attendance. So yeah, pull up, big event for us and everyone at the studio for sure. We'll all be there for sure. Okay, so shout out to the studio, all the artists, of course, all the engineers, producers, everybody. The clothing line, Shop Never Satisfied, all the fellas here. The clothing line, of course. Shout out to Bistro 808. We just had an event. I couldn't make it. It was on Monday.
Yeah.
May 1st. The hub's always there. A lot of Never Satisfied was there. I didn't make it this time. I was working. So, but I'm at a lot of Never Satisfied events. So
Yeah.
my completion is about 80-90%. You know what I mean? So I'm at a lot of
I
Never
wasn't at the
Satisfied
hub either, but
events.
your boy, I had a
And
busy
the hub events.
I had a weekend. I did so many shoots. It was crazy.
We're working. We can't be everywhere all the time.
Yeah, but that's why we got a team, bro.
There we go.
Shout out to
Shout out to the
Oh,
production team too. Sensei, Spoon, Lance, D, everybody.
Everybody, all the behind the scenes, all the talented camera men that are a part of the team. So shout out to everybody. There is no content without the camera, right? So
For sure.
you gotta be able to handle the camera for sure. Most somebody knows how, right? So shout out to Cali's Tacos, big homie. Cali is always looking out. Best taco truck in DFW. He's always somewhere doing something. So we got Rick Cali for sure. And then shout out to Box of Ken. Shout out to Box of Ken.
Man, bro.
Gotta get back to Box of Ken.
I went to Box of Ken. I took my cousin.
I took my cousin. So there will be. If I don't spar Matt sooner than later, like for sure, I'm getting my cousin in the square circle, like for sure. Like it's happening. It's happening. This is probably we've been at it before. Like some years past. So it's a little refresher, a little family fade. Nothing too crazy.
Family fade.
That
could be like a game show, bro. Family fade, like Family Feud, Family Fade, bro.
See, okay, so and then shout out to I think that's come on. Everything is both the movie. Come in June. Okay, we already premiered in LA. That was when we premiered in LA. That was about the summer. Now we're premiering in Dallas, June 2nd. We'll get down June 2nd. We premiering in Dallas. I'll be there. I'm in the doggone movie. That's why I keep on talking about it. IMBD credit. You'll see me in a scene or two. Jason and them. Shout out to Jason Mitchell. Shout out to Barton Fitzpatrick, Stakaya Washington, Mr. Jaquavius Coleman, writer, director, put me in the movie. Didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to them forever. You know what I mean? So it's gonna be a lot of fun. A lot of Never Satisfied was a part of it, of course. Big homies in the scene. Double R's in the movie.
Oh yeah, I seen him up there throwing money.
He's in the club. I'm in that scene.
I'm in the
the club scene. Yeah. So he's in the section. I'm kind of like that, and I'm dancing around. But yeah, everything is both. It's gonna drop June 2nd. More on that. It's open to the public. Like when I was in LA, it was limited. You know what I mean? So I had CB with me. Shout out to CB3. We gotta get him on the show. Big. That's day one with me and Matt for sure. CB3. Shout out CB3. Like I said, me and CB was there, but that was, but again, it's open to the public here June 2nd in Dallas and June 3rd, Oklahoma City. And me, Matt, and CB plan on being a part of that amongst the others as well.
It's gonna be
so, yeah, we're promoting the movie, and it's going to be on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, and Redbox streaming. So 3 streaming services, the big 3 streaming services, if you will. You can find the movie, you know what I mean? And then June 2nd, June 2nd. Well, shoot, I don't know if I play on the show. But June 2nd, if you can't come out to Dallas, it's going to drop on streaming. So if you come out to Dallas, cool, support me and everybody. Cool. Or stream it, and that's cool too. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for all that. So it's exciting times. And then another one in the vault coming soon is Dynasty, the movie we shot here locally with Linus and Lil Flip. That's on the way, looking down the road. But so yeah, those are my 2 feature films I'm part of. Yeah, exciting times, good times. I came out here to be an actor and doggone it. It took me 6, 7, 8 years, and courtesy of Double R, got satisfied. Got some notches in my belt, got some things on my resume. So shout out to everyone supporting us. In those fields, and I think I'm done here.
I think that's what we're gonna call it until next Tuesday or Wednesday.
Until next Tuesday, Wednesday. Again, this was episode 40 of Normal Guys Talk Sports. Is May 3rd, Wednesday, approximately 5:25. We are signing out. Everyone have a great week. Enjoy sports. Jerry Springer.
Oh yeah.
Jerry
R.I.P.
Springer. R.I.P. Jerry Springer. That's what I wanted. R.I.P. Jerry Springer. He's a part of a lot of our childhoods. You've introduced a lot of things we weren't ready for. Maybe
You've influenced all of these crazy podcasts.
Cool. And what did it say? What does it say at the end? Take care of yourselves and each other. Shout out to Jerry Springer. I gotta end on that though. I gotta look at some more.
Take care of yourselves
Take care of yourselves and each other.
and each other.
See you on next week episode.